Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of May here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia chapter 191. I don't know if this chapter is late or not, and if it is, I don't know if I'm bringing out this review late or not, and if it is, I apologize. It's just that it's just when it's just that the app I'm using it really didn't update the My Hero Academia chapter until just like I'd say half an hour ago or something like that. But yeah, but anyway, whether I'm late or not, I'm here now. I'm giving you guys a review, and I gotta say this chapter was interesting in a way because okay, so the funny thing about this chapter is that fun. So the funny thing about this chapter is that while it didn't give me what I wanted, it sure as hell gave me for it so sure as hell just give me some it sure as hell gave me just some overall damn good material as a consolation. The biggest one being that we find out Hawks has been working as a double agent for the government, which for a government for the government this whole time in order to get information on the League of Villains per pretty much their pretty much orders. And I do like how this whole setup of Hawks being a double agent shows that even if Endeavor is the new number one hero, the law enforcement agencies have learned from All Might's battle with All for One, and they're not leaving it to and they're not leaving it, and they're not leaving like Japan's safety in one hero's hands alone anymore, and that they need to be and they need to be almost just as proactive as the heroes. Which, in a way, you could also very easily interpret that as that the governments have lost as that a lot of these a lot that the government and a lot of these law enforcement agencies have lost a lot of faith in heroes to get the job done. Which honestly, I think this was a long time coming because, well, let's like Hawks pretty much said himself that the heroes aren't the here like I'm hoping this is gonna change, but with Endeavor as the new number one, but the heroes just weren't really even motivated in order to take on a task this huge of battling this organization that has gained such power that only started off as a small group, but in the short time pretty much since pretty much All Might's retirement has gained such immense power. So yeah, it really is showing how much things are changing with All Might's retirement, and how proactive both and how proactive that the law enforcement agencies themselves are becoming. Which honestly, I'm all for that because it's really kind of bringing it's really kind of bringing them into the forefront as just a bunch of as just an organization that's pretty much that only produces like pretty much just these side fodder characters. So yeah, I do like this whole emphasis of the government in this chapter. But besides that, I honestly gotta commend Hawks for being one hell of an actor. Like I'm not even joking. For a split second, I almost thought he was a villain that infiltrated the hero ranks. Up until the point where he did end up getting that flashback of him being recruited in order to infiltrate the League of Villains, which that in itself makes me wonder how Hawk's mission is going to play out from here, because judging from his little meetup with Dabi, he's going down a very dark path to infiltrate the League, and I imagine that pretty much the path he's going down is going to lead into the very darkness of villain society, which which is going to have long lasting effects on him one way or another. Although for now, I will say he definitely did a good job at playing both sides, only during this whole Nomu incident. But like I said, just pretty much in the way that Hawks was depicted in this chapter, it really just it's okay. It's funny. On one hand, you could really say this that this is showing his that this is showing his that this is showing his commitment in order in terms of being a hero and the limits he's willing to go in order to protect the citizens in the hero society. But on the other hand, this like okay again, I know so far he is just acting, but there definitely is going to be there definitely will come a time where Hawks is definitely going to have to is going to find himself probably in a situation where he'll probably end up crossing a line or something like something is definitely going to happen to Hawks that something is going to happen to Hawks down the line where even if he goes back to the heroes even if even if he whether or not he goes back to the hero whether or not he remains a hero after all is said and done, or if he ends up as a villain in the end, like this is going to affect Hawks mentally. Like he is like you could just see it in that last panel that he is like battered and beaten from putting on this facade. So at some point he is going to crack one way or another, and like I said, it should be interesting whether or not he remains a hero or goes down villainy. And I actually in a weird way with what Hawks is doing right now, it pretty much easily plays into pretty much Harvey Dent's whole speech in The Dark Knight about how you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That is honestly a perfect description of Hawks' current situation right now, at least to me. Now, if I did have one thing to say against this chapter, and believe me, it's very minor if you think about it, is that I am slightly disappointed that we didn't really get any of the questions that fans have been clamoring to get answers to about Dabi. So that in itself definitely does feel like there was a missed opportunity on Horikoshi's part, but I guess all in due time, and even if the answers aren't what we want them to be, I'm sure the reveal of who Dabi is will be epic. Although definitely to Horikoshi's credit, he pretty much still left us one hell of a breadcrumb with pretty much Dabi when we see Dabi going insane and basically him yelling out it pretty much it was Endeavor's real name as NG Todoroki. So just the fact alone that pretty much Dabi knows Endeavor's real name is just a whole new puzzle piece in itself. That like honestly, like right now, just figuring out who, like, I never thought Dabi would get people so freaking interested as a villain. But yeah, like this is just like we definitely want to know who Dabi is now, especially now that he said Endeavor's real name. And yeah, Dabi himself was just going full on psychopath in this chapter. With him, like, pretty much Dabi, he was just going in. He was basically trying to kill Endeavor. He was just going full on. Hey, I'm a badass. I'm a League of Villain member. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna kick some ass. And yeah, he was just a psychopath in everything he was doing in this chapter. It was just fun to watch, and actually, honestly, like a lot of, and I think what made Dabi like such a, and I think what pretty much made Dabi like what helped in reinforcing Dabi's whole position and his psychotic nature in this episode or in this chapter is the artwork. Like I'm not gonna lie, the artwork in this chapter really helped to emphasize Dabi's whole mindset and how psychotic he was acting in this chapter, because Horikoshi was on his A game with the art in this chapter because everything was just so detailed. In fact, the most impressive thing about the art in terms of making Dabi look extra creepy and psychotic was the use of shadows and shading, which just set the tone and atmosphere for pretty much again the whole chapter was. Yeah, like the art was on point. Like this is probably some of the best. This is right up there as one of those chapters that probably has some of the best art in the My Hero Academia manga. But so yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Dead Knight Runaway, signing off. Later, guys.